Welcome to Forensic Friday.
where we examine the intersection of true crime, psychology, and the heart of being human in the middle of it all.
So we're going to be like the little booth that could at CrimeCon.
Like,
Have this little 6-foot table. Y'all, there's like 5,000 people going to CrimeCon.
should we bring our 10 hats or should we order more?
Well, I think we're going to have to order more now. They almost bought 10 at our little conference that was a tenth that many people.
Wrong. You're not wrong.
But yeah, we're going to have a 6-foot table. And I'm looking at this catalog and it's like, you can have rolling racks and big signs and all this stuff. I'm like, I don't know.
I want to go to everything.
They're going to have, did you see Creator Row? It's morbid and like all these different podcasts, some of their offshoots, 6 podcasts. It's Creators Row.
Like going is probably going to help us with cool ideas.
Oh, 100%. Are you
We're just like shooting this. We're just like,
we are ants. We are ants with decent fashion sense and a lot of chutzpah.
I wouldn't say we're ants.
Okay, we're not ants. We're crickets.
Gross.
What's a cute bug?
None of them.
We're a tiny animal? No. No.
We're done with the analogies.
I don't know what we are. But we're not the Titans that will be at the CrimeCon.
That's okay. We'll get there.
Perfect though. I think freaking perfect because I don't want to be the biggest show in town. I want to get our name out there and I think we're pretty great.
Yeah.
Personally,
We're gonna do great.
watch me work. I'm gonna get there
Probably.
first thing and start charming from the minute we get there.
I want to meet Petito's parents
I do too.
if they're there.
I do too. There's gonna be
I want to tell them we're doing the work that you want people to do.
You know what we should do? We're gonna do our normal thing, which is we're gonna show up. And we're going to be like, I don't know how to do any of this. And it's going to be great.
Okay, let me find what we are going to discuss here in just uno momento. Okay, got it. All right, you ready?
Oh, I'm ready, girl. I just was reading the comment because I missed what you said.
Oh my God. This is my life, you guys.
I know. Oh my gosh, like you're not the exact same.
I'm a little better.
I don't know.
Like a smidge.
Maybe a teensy bit.
Smidge better.
Oh, someone said that we were like a live show at the
Conference?
yeah.
That's cool.
Oh, this is my girl Elizabeth Drake. Love you. She's the best.
Love that. Someone was like, I just about died when you called, when you mentioned me in your episode. I think you did. You like shouted out a bunch of our people.
Oh, well, because I love all of them.
I know.
They're amazing.
Look at the comments because we got a few comments like that. All right. Okay, so going back a ways to the Cool Mom episode.
Yes, that was the one that was in Colorado, right?
Arvada. Arvada, girl. Here's the thing, Arliss gave me permission, I think.
Probably not.
No, she did. I think she did.
Okay.
I think she did. To say that she knew the daughter of the Cool Mom and was friends with
girl.
her.
I told her not to tell. I'm just kidding.
It's fine.
It's fine.
She said that they had a falling out before all that craziness happened.
Okay.
But she said she was like, nah. Well, because Brittany, so I have like a sister chat in like a lot. We have like a sister text.
I'm also incredibly jealous that I'm not on the sister chat.
I know. I'm sorry. We got a sister chat. We got a sister Instagram, and then we got a sister Marco Polo.
Love this.
Okay. So Brittany comments on our Marco Polo, and she's like asking about the whole thing. And then Arliss chimes in, and she's like, I knew the girl. We were good friends. We had a falling out before all the craziness happened, but it's like a whole super sad situation.
Yes.
And she was talking about it anyway. She was like, yeah, our Arvada West girl, like that's where all this happened. And I was like, dang. Anyway.
Yeah.
So one of the comments we made, and I don't know how, I'm not going to quote us exactly because I didn't re-listen to us, but one of us said something along the lines of like, everyone needed therapy in this situation. Like all the teens, everyone needed therapy.
Yeah.
So Brittany asked, I'm sure it's very dependent on the individuals involved and the trauma experienced, but does all trauma elicit needing some form of therapy?
Okay.
Does all trauma elicit needing some forms of therapy?
That is a great question.
Right?
Yeah. Maybe we should
So-
define trauma, first of all,
Yes.
right? Because this is not the most technical, but it is actually how we talk about it in the field.
Yep.
Big T, little t trauma.
Yep.
Big T trauma, when you think of like PTSD, typically that involves some risk to life or limb for you or somebody that you love. So
Yeah.
that's not always true, but generally, when we're talking about PTSD and big T traumas, it's really lights your nervous system up to a degree where you can't cope. And there was a very real risk of death
Yes.
or serious injury or whatever. That's what it says.
Yeah.
That's literally in the definition. Little T trauma can be all kinds of other things too.
Yep.
Right. So
Yeah.
that could be a more minor car accident, but you keep hearing the sound in your head when you're driving, like that's still
Right.
for trauma symptoms, but maybe it wasn't a super serious accident like where you were going to die, but it just
Right.
was traumatic enough that it stuck with you. The baseline definition of trauma is anything that exceeds your ability to cope.
Yes.
And that
Well,
is different for everybody.
You said something really, really helpful for me years ago. And it was something along the lines of the difference between a bad experience and a traumatic experience is a traumatic experience. We don't have an exit.
Yes.
We don't have a way out of the situation.
Many times. Yeah.
Many times. And again, like that's not necessarily like a defining factor of trauma, but I thought that was a helpful way to kind of look at it, right?
Yeah.
So going to Brittany's question, my opinion is I don't think everyone needs therapy who's experienced trauma. I think this gets into what are the resources that we've had, right? So if someone experiences some level of abuse that's outside of the home, but they have parents who are really supportive of them and processes with them, maybe they don't need, depending on the type of abuse they experienced, right? I'm not just saying, people might think like sexual trauma, but like, let's say a coach verbally abuses you.
Right.
You might not need therapy for that, especially if you have family or people surrounding you who support you and your own mental health and your growth, right? So parents or family who's going to say, hey, that's not okay. And you don't deserve that. And you're right. Like some level.
Protective factors. They call them
Yes.
protective factors where anything from stable housing, loving family, some self-esteem or achievement. There's a lot of things, faith. There's a lot of things that can buffer us in times of trauma.
Yeah.
Big or little T trauma.
Yep. Yep. What would you say, Janine, is the defining factor of people who might need it? And I have my thoughts too.
I will be honest. I think when you're in a situation where people almost die, so I'm thinking your river experience.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that there's different levels of exposure to what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So everyone who loves you went through some level of trauma.
Mm-hmm.
No one, even in the river of the four of you, had the exact same experience, which is something that you talked about.
Right.
That being said, I think what happened did hit a level where I would be surprised if at some point there
Mhm.
isn't a need for trauma to process that material. The
A
thing
need for
about,
therapy, you mean?
oh, sorry, some type
Yeah.
of therapy to process
Yeah.
that trauma. One of the things I've learned a lot about is trauma. We're typically a trauma behind.
Mhm.
So sometimes we're fine until something else happens that's hard,
Mhm.
and then
Mhm.
it can sneak up on us.
Mhm.
But I also have known people who have been in combat zones who really have never done trauma therapy and just somehow kind of didn't need it. It's not a strength issue at all. And
Mhm.
it's not an
Mm.
intelligence issue.
A resilience,
It's
nothing
not even a
really like that.
resilience
Yep.
issue. It's just
Yep.
different. Everybody's system is a little bit different.
Yep.
But do I think most people need therapy for trauma when it's a risk to your life or someone close to you? Yeah, I do. I mean,
I do.
I've seen it just sneak up on people too much
Yeah.
later. Maybe not right now, but
Yeah. Well, and I agree with you. I think my like if I had to draw a hard line, and there's no hard line with trauma and
no.
therapy and all that. So like let me make that really clear.
Oh yeah.
If I had to draw a hard line to help someone say, okay, should I, like someone who has not done therapy before, who isn't experienced, who hasn't, isn't experienced in therapy, I would say if you find yourself going through things, so like dreams, triggers, whatever, who have things that come up in your daily life that impacts how you feel every single day,
Or
or
even more days than not. Yeah.
often enough, or it has changed how you approach things
Mhm.
that's not necessarily positive,
Mhm.
I would encourage you to get therapy.
Oh yeah, it could be avoidance. It could
Yeah.
be there's like a million ways we react to trauma.
Yeah. But I think it's if your day to day or most of the time
Mhm.
has shifted, or there's some like increased fear or um worry or whatever, like increased anything that isn't going to be helpful for you to operate, you should probably seek therapy.
Yes. And let's talk about the sneaky signs.
Oh
There's
yeah,
some
let's do it.
sneaky signs. We talked about sneaky red flags. Let's talk about sneaky signs of trauma.
Perfect.
I'm scrolling way more than I used to.
Yes.
I can't sleep or I need something on all night to sleep.
Yes. Or instead of one glass of wine, I have two or three.
Absolutely drinking sneaking up a little bit, right?
Oh, goodness. Yep. That one's actually really sneaky. I was just having a conversation with someone about this and the impact of people's experience, right? And how we justify it's like, well, I'm not having too much because I'm not hammered, but I'm having just enough.
Just enough because I'm medicating something.
Yep. Yeah.
You know, I think too emotional regulation is one of the things that can
Mm-hmm.
sneak up.
Mm-hmm.
Am I more impatient than normal? Do I
Mm-hmm.
kind of fly off the handle a little more?
Or do I shut down more?
Am I a little vacant? We can talk
Yeah.
about dissociation. It's
Yeah.
not disassociation. You heard it here. Please say it right. Dissociation. Disassociation would be like, I don't want to hang out with you anymore, I suppose. Dissociation is the actual clinical term for
Yes.
the shutting down to a degree that I start to almost separate from what's happening in my life. Either
Yeah.
I'm outside of my body or I'm checking out and losing time and space, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That's a real one. And what I hear sometimes from people is, I'm just floaty. I just feel
Mm-hmm.
floaty. And you had some of that after the river.
Mm-hmm. I had dreams.
You had dreams, but one of the
Yeah.
things that you told me, and I remember seeing this in you, and it freaked me out because
I don't
you
even
are,
know what you're talking about.
I know. Well, listen, I was watching you like a hawk. First of all, I had little T trauma
Mm-hmm.
from this thing to a degree where I had to talk to my therapist
Mm-hmm.
because, you're my homie,
Mm-hmm.
and it just was unacceptable.
Yeah.
Where I went was mad. I got mad.
Sure.
and not at anyone or a specific, but I just was mad because I'm mad when I'm protective. So I was like, get her ass out of the river. She's never hiking again. I mean, it was just like, can I put her in a bubble? I was just very like, blah, and it wasn't geared at anybody. It just was like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. But when you were kind of just wrapping your head around it, you had to survive. There was some shock. Then you had basically your entire system was full of river water.
Yeah.
Right.
And
So you had
one of the worst parts of like pain, like physical pain,
yes.
the sinus infection I got after.
No, it was terrible for you.
Yeah.
And so I'm watching you and you're just sort of like up here somewhere.
Oh, was
dealing
this
with
when you
these
came to
things.
visit?
No. Well, maybe a little. I don't know. Preston and I cried, I think that time. I don't remember. Yeah, Preston and I cried. No, I think it was a couple of weeks later and you were still just getting your feet under you. It was kind of
Okay.
like there
I
was
also think I had a concussion that was undiagnosed.
and you do sometimes get concussed. That is a thing. But there was this exhaustion and everything. But even when that wore off and you started to feel better, there was just this kind of like, I don't know how to explain it, almost a blinky, distant thing. It didn't last super long, but I saw it when you pulled out of the sinus infection, but before you were like back to yourself. It was brief.
Yeah.
But I know you really well. And I was just like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
like it was kind of hitting you. And then
Yeah.
you're one of the most resilient, fightery people I know, but the
Thanks.
trauma's the trauma.
Well, right. Well, and it's interesting because even, it's funny that because Brittany is the one who's asking this and Brittany was with me in the river.
Yep.
And even Brittany and I had such different experiences in the river.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, very much so.
I mean, genuine fear for both of us, but different types of fear. It was funny. So Press and I did that. Sorry, was this not supposed to be a river debrief? But here we are.
Well, I mean, that is the most recent trauma I've experienced was
Right. Same.
that. I mean,
Same.
not that your labor didn't get a little frightening there for a second, but like
insane. Oh my God.
you just keep just testing it.
I know my labor was nuts.
Golly, and he almost got hit by the train. But the closest one to me, really, where I was like, oh my God, I could lose my friend was the river. So that's why we're talking about it.
That's fair. Well, and what's interesting, so Press and I just did an interview with the 700 Club. And it was really interesting because I thought I would have been way more emotional talking about it. And I wasn't. I like teared up one time. And it was when I was talking about how I knew in that moment that I was having a little girl. So I tear up now thinking about it. That's when I knew I was having a little girl. That's the only time I teared up during this interview. So Preston shares his story and he cried way more than I did.
I love your husband. He's so sweet.
I know, he's the best. And so we were processing after, and the guy who interviewed us made a comment. I think he was just trying to be funny, but I also think he was low-key serious. He was like, yeah, I was like expecting you to be a little bit more emotional. And I was like, and I thought about it, and I said this later because we all like went and got lunch because it was raining. So we had to like wait for the rain to stop and whatever. So I was like, I think like I get emotional when I think about losing all my people. Right. But I think when I was in the moment, because I was literally fighting for my life, I didn't have that same emotional experience in the physical river as everybody else did.
Yes.
Because Brittany got out, David wrapped around that rock, and he's like terrified, right? Because he's like watching these massive things come at him. And then Preston also got out. Right. I was the only one who was drug as far as far. Right.
Yeah.
And so for me in the actual experience, I had some of those thoughts towards the end, like right before I got pulled out, when I felt my body go numb. I was
but they were thinking it the whole time.
They were thinking it the whole time.
Preston in particular.
Yes.
in particular.
Yep.
Now, I did notice, and this is one of the reasons the therapy thing, and Nat's in therapy. I don't think you mind me sharing that. You've
Oh yeah,
talked
no,
about it
I
before.
share. Yeah.
When we were driving home from our little mountain excursion, me and you, a couple of weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
there's a river
Oh yeah.
that
Oh.
runs next to I-70, right? Well,
Mhm.
we're chatting and you've been so fine and we're talking about it and you said something and then I went off because you know how I am. I'm like,
Mhm.
you know,
Mhm. Mhm.
talking about, oh, we went whitewater rafting and I told a story of me getting stuck under the raft and blah, blah, blah. And finally you're like, can we change the subject? And I was like, oh, damn.
Well,
Yes.
you were talking about that, but then we also got into floaties for kids.
Yes, we did. You're right. We did.
And I was like, I can't talk about this anymore.
Yes. Well, first of all, it started as a cute conversation about
Mm-hmm.
going to my pool that has zero entry. And it's literally like, I mean, toddlers are laying on the
And they're above water.
literal ground, splashing in the no water situation.
Right.
And I was
Right.
like, we could do this. So then I was like, well, and then you can get these floaties that we got from Mac and blah, blah, blah. And then was it you? I think it was you. I think it was you who said this, and then I probably described it more. No, I said it about the type of swim lessons or whatever that they do with
Oh my God, I can't
babies.
even talk about it. Yes,
No,
yes,
I know, and you get all okay. So here's what's interesting about that. There's still a physical response to talking about
yes. Mm-hmm.
water like that, which is trauma. So that's a trauma response.
Uh-huh.
So the thing that I would encourage people, if you're listening,
Mm-hmm.
you're trying to talk yourself out of the fact that maybe you have trauma or you feel bad about it or you think mentally you're strong enough and you've thought through it. What's the name of that book? The Body Knows the Score. The Body Keeps.
Body keeps the score. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a real thing. Your body holds on to all of those things. You can't override that no matter how
Mm-hmm.
strong, smart, educated. It doesn't matter. It's just your body at that point.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So when you and I were talking about it, it's not that you can't think logically about it. It's not like you were
Right.
re-experiencing it or having a flashback. It was just your body was going, nope, like
Yeah. I
we're
can't talk
done
about it
here.
anymore. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
totally.
Yep. And I think I love what you said, and this is so huge. I work with a couple of first responders, and they're some of my favorite people to work with.
Oh, same.
And even talking to them about some of the things that come up for them, it's not usually even like really significant things. It's like something really small where someone describes a certain thing in questioning, and then the person's like, that was a lot, or they see something again that's not necessarily super significant, but it's like it's those types of things where it's like there's still an edge to it, right? I always tell people when they ask me about EMDR, I say EMDR, it's not like a hypnosis thing, it's not
No.
sketchy, but it's something to take that edge off of the experience that you had. It doesn't mean you forget it. It doesn't mean that you don't have emotions around it, but it takes away the like trigger part of it.
That's a good way to put it.
Our nervous system doesn't
physical.
light up.
It's really the physical. I mean, we do
Yeah.
emotional work. We are substituting different
Mhm.
emotions and relationships with that event.
Mhm.
But really, it's so physical. It just
Mhm.
helps get it out of your body.
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking about EMDR, but there's brain spotting, there's somatic therapy, there's narrative therapy, there's a million ways to tackle trauma.
Yeah.
I have not found one that's quite as tactical as EMDR. It's not the end all
Same.
be all, but it is kind of a little bit magic.
It is. I actually was so skeptical for years about EMDR, and then I finally did the training and I was like, what is this? But
Oh.
it's so cool.
It's so cool.
And every time I do it, I'm like, someone's going to be like, yeah, I don't get it. Every single time I do it, someone's like, I feel they're tired, but they're like, I feel like I'm not as responsive or reactive to that situation right now.
Well, that's the reason that I got trained is I was working in an intensive outpatient program early in my career.
Mm-hmm.
And I was on these treatment teams and we had several EMDR therapists. And then I was doing whatever new counselors did. I was working with people abusing methamphetamine who were pregnant. I was doing all kinds of stuff that I probably had no business doing, but that was the job.
Fine.
But I would be on these treatment teams with these folks who were doing 9 hours of therapy a week. And all of a sudden, they would have like a spontaneous recovery and they looked different. They came in different. They carried themselves differently. And I was like, I have got to learn more about this. And I got trained in 2011. So
Yeah.
I've been doing it for 14 years. I've been using EMDR. Now,
Yeah.
I don't think it's the end all be all. Some people act like EMDR is the only kind of therapy there is. That's not true.
No.
It also is not something that works for every single person. So if you've tried that, there's a million other things you can do. But I strongly recommend it for trauma. I think it's my favorite to try
Yeah.
first if you've had a trauma,
Yeah, I agree.
you know?
Yeah.
What a good question. Brittany, good question.
I know. She's a smart cookie.
Let me into the Sisters Club.
I
They
can't.
do love me. They do love me,
you.
but I'm
They
not
do love you. You're an honorary.
I'm an honorary. I can hang at a family gathering. I hang out, which
That's
I'm good
all
with
you
that.
need.
I feel very honored to be
That's
able
all
to.
you need. One of
Oh,
our
they're
sisters
fabulous.
doesn't even respond to us half the time. She's hilarious.
Oh, that is funny.
I know. She just does. She just listens to us.
I just talked to my sister-in-law. I'm going to have a new nephew like any day,
I know. I'm
really,
probably any
hour, any minute. I don't know.
Yeah.
She's in it.
Dang, those Pitocin contractions. Godspeed, girl.
I know. Love you, sister. Where I told her, I'm like, well, Max sent them videos. Max sent a video to Eric and to Caitlin, like
Oh,
wishing them well. And
good.
Eric's holding up like a champ.
Good. He better.
He doesn't like I don't think he's alone in this, but medical stuff, needles, all of that's real hard. He's holding up like a damn champion.
There you go.
I know. I'm so proud. And my sister-in-law looks gorgeous and like barely a hair out of place. I'm like, who are you? You know?
I was a mess.
She's amazing. I do believe that. I love you so much and you're so strong. But I was a mess until I got my epidural and put my feet up and watched football.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, I am not kidding you. Those contractions after the Pitocin, like I did 4 hours of Pitocin contractions. And Preston has never seen me like that. My mom couldn't even stay in the room.
Yeah. Oh, it's just wild.
Women
are warriors.
I literally was like, death would be better than this.
You want to talk about trauma? Birth.
It is traumatizing.
Trauma.
But here's the crappy thing. It's not crappy. It's actually a miracle. Then you have the baby and you don't even care.
I know. I told you this before you had a baby.
I know. And I didn't believe you until I had the baby. And I'm like, I didn't even care about how insane that was.
You don't care at all. It's like gone.
They cut open all these layers of skin and things in your tummy. And then you have this baby and then they have to sew you back up. And then you can't like do much.
No, you're like a turkey. The first time I saw a turkey after I had a baby, my mom shoved her hand up there to get all the stuff, and pulled it out. And I had like a physical response. Trauma, buddy. I know why I did. It's because Mac was born the first week of November and it was Thanksgiving. That's why. And I saw the turkey and I was like, that was me. Like just a couple weeks ago, that was literally me.
Weird.
It's very weird. The whole thing's weird. That is trauma. That is absolutely trauma.
But we forget about that because then the baby is a miracle and we love them.
Then we have a baby. And you do have an exceptional baby, and I do.
I know. I love her so much. She is sleeping like a champ.
I'm really proud of her. She's doing good. Well, y'all, great question. This was a good one. We should send us questions. This is really good for some of our minis to just answer whatever y'all are wanting to hear more about.
Yeah. We love questions. It helps us propel forward.
Does it propel us forward, you big weirdo? It's because it's 10 o'clock at night.
I need to go to bed.
Me too. I'm like slap happy. It's an early morning for me also. Oh, real quick, are you going to go see the new I Know What You Did Last Summer in the theaters?
Yeah, I didn't know it was coming out.
Oh, Gary and I are going to go. It's already out. I just want to go because it's the classic. It's Jennifer Love Hewitt. It's Freddie Prinze Jr.
Well, they're doing this because of all the Scream movies.
Let's get childcare and go. The 4 of us should go.
Okay.
It's in the theaters. We could get slushies. All right. Well, we will see y'all Friday.
As always.
Bye, forensic friends.
I'm Janine.
And I'm Nat.
And as always, thanks for listening and join us next week for more Crime, Psychology, and Heart.